Hi guys, welcome back to this week's vlog, and today's vlog is another jumping lesson. So a fair few weeks ago now, probably a month ago, I done a video which was when I joined the riding club, went to Down Farm and had a lesson with Tim Chethings. So our riding club does them monthly up at Down Farm of an evening. It's every month on a Wednesday night. So that is what we are off to go and do later on, but my lesson isn't until 7 o'clock, so still got quite a few hours to go. I have just brought Dan in because he's going to have a little hot oil. I will explain it when I show you guys. But anyway, my thing today is to get over that plank that he did not like the last time. Without any refusals today, because you guys will have seen that I went cross country last week. I've had a lesson with Zara and it's been going so well, and it's going to go well again today, but my plan is to just get him over that plank first time, or if we do have a problem, I'm not going to say it because he's here, if we do have a problem the first or the second time at that jump, I can live with it, but I don't want it every time like we had it last time. I'm really lucky that this week I've had a week off of college, because they're doing something at college. They told us not to come in, so we have actually been given work which we got given last week, and I decided to do it last week, so I've got this full week off and I don't have to worry about doing any of my work. So all I've had to do today is answer the phone from Petrock because they are registering us in so that our attendance don't go down. So I have been up here all day. Both ponies are mucked out, they're all sorted for later because we're not going to get home tonight until at least 20 past 9, half past 9, so I just got to bring him in, change his rug, and give him his dinner, and he's all done because we will also have to take the trailer back to where we keep it. So I am really looking forward to tonight, and the good thing is because I have had quite a few lessons with Tim before, so obviously I had one with him last month, but the time before that was all the way back in January, and then the time before that was like back in 2020. So when I've had lessons with him, I've like had a lesson with him, but then it could be like a year or like a few months before I see him again. And every time I go into a lesson, I think Tim forgets that he's taught me before, because he always asks me like, what height do we go up to, what do we do, like ask questions about me and him. And I generally think he forgets, because if he remembered me, he wouldn't ask it all, obviously. So hopefully this time he will obviously remember who I am from last month's lesson, so he'll know what to do, because as I mentioned in the last lesson, Tim started it at 80, and it is a lesson where you start at 60 and go up to 80, because obviously that's the height that I start to compete, and I will jump up to 80. So I'm back in that group again, but I think it's with different people. But Tim obviously started the jumps at 80 with us, and Dan just does not like it. He did put a cross pole up for us. Dan doesn't like starting at 80. He would rather start at like 60, then work our way up to that height. But I will only go up to that height if we are going well beforehand, because I just don't see the point of over facing him straight away when I know he doesn't like it. But yeah, so Tim obviously realised that was an issue, and he said to me on the day that Dan doesn't have a problem jumping the height or anything, which I obviously already knew that. Dan's a very scopy boy, and I know he doesn't struggle whatsoever. He said the height isn't the issue, Dan just needs to build up on his confidence and trust himself, which is also what Zara's told me as well, and I do know it is partly me as well. But the last time I had my lesson with Zara, she actually said that it isn't all me, it is him. He does lack in confidence, which I am aware of. But anyway, so Tim was like to me, we will start off smaller, and I just stuck smaller. So hopefully he will remember, he should do, it's only been 4 weeks, and he'll start us off smaller, and then if it goes well, we'll work our way up. But the highest we jump is 80 anyway in that group, and then the group after is 80 up. Apologies, I didn't explain that very well. But I think that's really it, what to say. It is 1:59. We don't need to be left here till 5:30, so we've got a few hours, but we need to go and get the trailer. I need to hot oil him. What else do I need to do? We're going to have tea as well. We're going to get that about 4 o'clock. I've already filled up a hay net, and everything's done all up here, so there should be no rushing or anything. But it's so funny because this time we will be getting there when it's dark and tacking up, whereas last time we got there in daylight but we come out in the dark. So I have got my Equalite with me because I literally can't recommend them enough. They are amazing. My friends actually bought me one last year for Christmas, which I absolutely love. You guys will have seen on my vlogs from last year through the winter when I was wearing them. I just cannot recommend them enough, and they are perfect for like what we're doing tonight because I don't have to have a light and keep moving it at things. I can see what I'm doing, so that is just perfect. And my mum's also got one as well, so that is just perfect as well. Today I am wearing the ink, so I'm just wearing the base layer and the numner. I have brought the ears, but I'm not sure if I'll put them on him or not. But God guys, it is so windy out there, it's ridiculous. I only literally just took my coat off. I've got base layer on, a jumper on, a body warmer, and I had a coat on as well. It's just so cold. So Dan's just chilling, eating his hay. I'm going to hot oil him, and then he can go back out for a few hours, and then I'll bring him back in a little bit later to sort him out. You guys haven't already seen the vlog when I went to Down Farm last time with the riding club, then go and check it out because it will make more sense and just make more sense basically. So go and check that out, and then come back and watch this video and you'll know where we're at. And also, if you haven't watched my cross country vlog, there's been a few other vlogs out as well that you guys might have missed. Go catch up because then you know what's been happening these last few weeks. So I'm gonna hot oil Danny now with the Supreme Products hot oil. So I normally do this around this time of year because we done it back in the summer ages ago, and I felt that it made his coat go really funny. So I'm going to cover him all over, basically get all of the grease, makes them all nice and shiny. I've got my warm water. You have to use it with warm water. I'm just going to, don't drink that down. It's not water, you got water over there. I'm going to put a little bit in, then I've got an old like rag cloth thing to wipe him all over with. This is also for preparation because Saturday I'm taking him showing and I can't bath him because we've got no warm water. So this will make him look like he's had a bath. So I'll put in, that'll be enough, that there. Okay guys, so that's Dan all hot oiled. I forgot to mention, you don't want to literally soak this and wet it like he's had a bath. You just want it damp. And that is basically it. It's a really quick and easy way to keep your ponies clean, especially if you don't have water or like warm water for the winter, to keep them clean for competitions and lessons, etc. So it's super easy and I highly recommend it if you're looking for something like that. And I will do it again on Saturday morning before we go. But looking super shiny now, Dan, and it's still like damp in some places, but once it dries it looks so much better. Good boy. And let me just show you guys how disgusting this water is. That is how minging he was, full of dirt and grease. That's just gross. And I bet you when I do it on Saturday again, there will be more that come out. It's pretty gross. He hasn't had a bath since way back in the summer when we had the heat wave, so he definitely needed that. So guys, a little few hours longer. It's actually 4:03, so we're actually gonna be leaving in an hour and a half, but we've just come to get McDonald's. Well, I'm having McDonald's, my mum's having sausage and chips because she don't particularly like McDonald's. And yes, I'm going to eat that, and then my mum's just gone in to get some dog food because we're going to be home late. Was like, get food beforehand. So I'm going to eat this and then we'll go to the stables, but the traffic is literally ridiculous because when we're on our way to a chip shop, literally, it is literally cars after cars. There's police, basically the bridge. Luckily we're not going that way because if we were going Coxey today we would have been stuck in it. Well, luckily we're going the completely opposite way, so it doesn't really make a difference, which is good, but we think there might be a jumper on the bridge, which is obviously not good. But I'll update you when I'm getting Danny ready to be loaded. So guys, Dan is all loaded and we are on way. We're going to go a different route. Well, when I say that, we'll go back onto the same road that we normally do, but we're just going a different way to get there, if that makes sense, because of the traffic. But anyway, apologies that I didn't film any of the getting ready or anything, but he has got his boots on and his rug on, etc. So I'll see you when we get there. Okay guys, so we're here. Apologies, I haven't done any time lapse because I'm actually filming on my mum's phone because my phone's playing up. So we want to save all the, well, battery, which is currently on charge, but also keep the storage up so that you guys can watch our lessons. But it is actually, hang on, let me just look at my watch. Hang on guys, sorry, I apologise. It is 6:23, so not bad. We're going to have just over half an hour to get ready, so perfect. We don't need to rush, and I reckon we will get tacked up in daylight, which will be good. So we've now arrived. The school's up there and people are already having a lesson before us, which I believe it's the 80 up group, and that's the outdoor school, which you guys will know from the arena eventing lesson. So that's it, and look how nice that lorry is. Honestly, that is my dream lorry. The colour and everything. I wonder if they want to swap. I doubt it.
I didn't really want to be doing it now. I'm my life. I wanted to sort of. Yeah. He didn't mind the pigs last time. They're nice and bright, aren't they? There's lots of things to spook them. Yeah. He will get across. Well done. Go on, Dan. Good boy.
Straight round, do them again. Good, keep running. Keep running.
If you,
Well done, pat it.
that's it's not your
Well
fault.
done. Okay, now try the three.
I'll try the free.
You can walk over this if he needs to. And rather than kept go than he stopped. Give him time to see it. Sit there, go, 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 go. He said stop, but he won't walk.
He's so stuffed.
Okay? Too far away. Try again.
I think I must be on widescreen or something.
Okay, okay, okay. Good. Go on, okay. Good. Carry on, carry on. Lovely. Well written. Big cat. Now go and do it all again. No, I don't mind. Just want you to go do it again. How do you want to do it? Once he's done it, he should be alright to counter it, but don't trust him. That's it. Go on. Very good. That's it. Much better. Okay.
Good boy.
Well done. Yeah, that's it.
Just wish. Why is he pulling his head out? He's pulling his head that way. Straight. She probably didn't really want to do them. I think we've got the rain now.
Now the pigs, and then you might as well do the last nine again. Much better. Get more and more confident every jump. Yeah, super. Pat it. Right? Much better. Really good. Lovely. Try and keep him straight. Can't change your lead, dude. Now the brushing, not the line of brushing. Pigs.
Steady.
Good. That's the last line. Take your lead if you can. Only matter if you go on the wrong. Lovely.
Good boy.
Okay.
Guys, obviously you will have already have seen all of the footage. Just want to say apologies for the lighting. We are just unhitching the trailer and it is currently 10:30. It's so late, it's ridiculous. But anyway, the horses are all done. So let's get on with tonight. So I'm buzzing, to be honest with you guys, and you guys are probably thinking, really? Because you have had stops. And yes, I have had stops, but compared to last month, even Tim said there is such an improvement, because last time I would have a stop and I'd keep getting the stops at the same jump, and then I'd eventually get him over it. We'd have like 3 or 4 stops before I'd actually get him over it. This time he went over the first jump, which was just absolutely amazing, which was obviously a cross pole, and then the fillers went in and he jumped it like it was nothing. I was so proud of him. And then stupid me, because I was feeling more confident, when we come over to the second jump, which was the pink one, I thought we'll canter into this one because I'm going to get him to feel like getting more forward, and I feel confident of doing this. He was fine with that jump last time, so we will be fine. So we was cantering, and tonight he was actually quite keen compared to last month's, and he decided to stop with me, and I knew straight away I shouldn't have cantered. That was just a ridiculous idea. So then Tim said to me, all of the new jumps that we do, obviously they're not new because we jumped them last time, but you know, compared to the first one, he was like, by the way guys, I'm not putting my seatbelt on because I've got to get out and shut a gate. Tim was like, just trot into them. So all the others, we just trotted into them, and he was fine with. We had obviously a few refusals, but we would only have 1 stop, and then the second time he would go over it. It wasn't like 2 or 3 stops before I'd get him over it. So that was such an improvement from last time, and you could just feel he felt so much more confident towards the jumps than last time. Like last time he was so unsure, and Tim said to me, obviously it's lack of confidence from him. Tim seriously thinks the reason why we're having the stops is because of the lighting in the school, and I mentioned it in the last vlog that I done at Down Farm, because horses see the jumps different to how I would see it with the lighting, and he thinks that's basically what it is, and like the shadows and things. But he said he could really see a difference in him. He was a lot more confident, he was a lot more forward, and it's good. And those stops haven't bothered me whatsoever because he's done so much better this time. They were less stops than last time, and also I said to you earlier on in the vlog that my aim is to get over that plank that we had a problem with last time, and he jumped it with no stops or whatever, and that was literally my aim of the day, was to just get him over there without a refusal. And that's what's happened. And then at the end of the lesson, Tim asked me if I would like to go up higher, and half of me was like, yeah, I want to do it because it wasn't that big anyway, and I jumped small tonight anyway. Half was me like, yeah, do it. But then the other half was like, no, don't do it, because it's been such a good night, it's been successful. Like I got him like proper cantering at the end over all of them, and I'm so annoyed because the first 2, I think, of the jumps, my mum got on time lapse, so then she had to stop the time lapse and go on. So basically you do see my cantering round, but you miss the orange one and the plank that he doesn't like down the other end, but the rest you get to see in canter. So the first course I done in trot, just so that we could get round him, so that we had no stops, and then I had another go and I cantered from the start to the finish, and he was just awesome. But Tim said for the next lesson next month, I've got to remind him, but when I go in, he's going to put every single jump in the arena down, so it's literally poles on the floor, and he's going to get me to warm up over them, just like trot and canter over them. So he's gone over them and like seen it, because they're not scary or anything, but it'll just hopefully make Dan feel happier. And then once we start putting the height up, hopefully we won't have any stops because he's already gone over it. So we're not 100% sure if that's going to work, but we're going to try it. So Tim said to remind him on the day to tell him to do that, and he'll do that for me. So I think that's a really good idea, and hopefully it will help him out and we will get no refusals. But what I've said is I'm not going to say next month I'm going for no refusals. Next month's aim is to go around with having less refusals, so just like 1 or 2 refusals. That is my aim. I mean, it'll be lovely if I don't get any refusals next month, but I don't want to push it that far. So hopefully we'll have less refusals than today for next month, and then depending on how next month's goes, then December, again depending, I'll say no refusals. But we will see. But to me, I don't know what you guys think, but I'm very pleased with tonight, and you know me, I like to come home with positives, and I've definitely come home with quite a few positives. Anyway guys, I'm going to finish this vlog now. I hope you've enjoyed it. Definitely think Dan did enjoy it because he was so much more forward this time. But please make sure that you like and subscribe if you haven't already, and look out because there is going to be a competition vlog coming out in